Welcome back to Best Friends Forever. I'm Radia Hersey. Life isn't always fresh cuts and funny stories. Sometimes life hits hard. But real friendship, it shows up when things fall apart. Today, our guests share how their bond helped them push through the pain, losses, and life's toughest moments. Because when the world gets heavy, your best friend might just be the one keeping you standing. Guys, welcome back. Clearly, the first hour, lots of laughs. Talk to me about how your friendship got you through the difficult times.
You want to start?
Go ahead, sir.
Well, it's easy for me to talk about because as men, particularly black men, we're taught to bottle up our feelings inside, handle things, just push through, don't show emotion. But everybody's got to have somebody that they can talk to and be vulnerable with. But not everybody has that person. Luckily I've got that person, that I can call and who's going to tell me the difference between right and wrong. No judgment, but will definitely give direction if he feels like I'm wrong. He's not afraid to tell me, I don't agree with that one, big bro. He'll tell me that all the time. But you've got to have somebody. You've got to have that sounding board. We laugh about females all the time being able to talk because you all seem to gravitate and can have a conversation, but it's not common amongst men to be able to just really talk, and have somebody just listen. So that's been a positive thing we've had is our relationship. We've been able to just sit down and talk. We know when the other one needs to just have that space or time to talk, so we'll just basically shut our phones or whatever, or not take calls and just, listen. And that's, one positive to our relationship, for sure.
Ray, what about you?
It all stems going back to the barbershop because, the barbershop being the sanctuary, the safe space, the first responding mental counselor. You tell your barber or your stylist, somewhat anything. And, we had a dual relationship with that because of the fact that, for one, we were friends. Two, we both were sports guys together. And, and it started, in the barbershop. So those relationships were forged and it was easy to talk because, like he was mentioning earlier, getting back to that barbershop, that was the hub. And I was the same thing too. And I just remember so many days in the shop where he would get there early and would get his service, or he knew he was going to be there for hours. And he would let, people go in front of him like, yeah, no, you go. Because they knew it was going to be gone soon, but he was going to be the last one standing, or the last cut. Even if he got the first one, he still was going to hang out if he didn't have anything to do because he just knew we wanted to talk and get some stuff, off our chest, and, we would shut the shop down so many times, just like as we do now. It wasn't too many times we shut the club down, anything like that, because we both weren't really big club going guys because we knew we had to keep our bodies in shape, playing sports, but just being able to talk and, like he mentioned, being vulnerable toward one another and being able to just share what's authentically, on our minds at that time. And I can just remember because he does a great job of listening where I'm talking and then I'm like, hello? Thinking that the call dropped or whatever. He's like, no, man, I'm here. I'm still here. I'm like, oh, okay. I just got real silent. I'm just listening to you, and to have a friend that will listen to you in your toughest, darkest times, because mental health is so important these days. And I think that a lot of people are checking out because they don't have that individual that they can really talk to and really connect with, and that can like really talk them off of that mountain that he also mentioned. Because where we are right now, we are kind of like at the top. Everybody's calling on us all the time, and during the break he was saying, "Hey, I need to check my phone," and I looked at him like, "Really?" And he laughed. He couldn't do him but laugh because we know that his phone rings
Constantly.
ridiculously more times.
That means you're popular, though.
I'm glad it's on silent real too.
You're getting a break.
He's either popular or owe a lot of people some money for bills, but I think it's more sort of popularity because he does a great job with his finances. Great businessman, has a lot of great things that he does for people, and I admire that about him. And that's one reason why we've connected, and we've always gonna be together. Till what?
To the casket drop.
Casket drop.
So a casket drop.
The casket drop.
My dude.
Yeah.
So I hear you guys take an annual trip. Tell me about these annual trips. And I hear that a gun was involved.
Oh, boy, you want to bring that up. Yeah, okay. Well, the annual trip every year this is the one that's going to happen every year. We're going to go to the Final Four every year. And we don't care who's playing in it. We very rarely let the venue affect where we're going. Although it's been one or two times we didn't go. COVID was one of the reasons, and another time was just another city that neither of the two of us had any desire to really go hang out or do anything. But for the most part, we're going. And the trip is highlighted, especially these last few where we've been able to drive. We made literally a trip from here to Houston. Here to Houston, here to San Antonio, here to New Orleans, and the radio doesn't cut on.
Y'all just chatting, huh?
So we're talking the whole time. And each time we've noticed that it was not something that was intentional or something that we had to power through or just trying to make up a conversation. Before we knew it, we were pulling in the town. We're like, man, we didn't even turn the radio on. And that comes from, it's a twofold thing. Number one, our friendship is easy to talk about. We can talk. But being in two different spectrums of our worlds, he has his world and I have my world and everything. We don't always catch up on an every week basis or every day basis or things of nature. So we're not intertwined all the time.
Daily, yeah.
But when we get a chance to catch up, it's like, man, I got to tell you. And then it's like, I didn't tell you that? No, you didn't tell me. And then so now it's like, oh, man, hold on. But before I tell you this, I got to tell you this so you'll understand this. And then it's like a lot before we know it.
It's like 5 hours.
Yeah, that's 8 hours. We're in New Orleans, real quick. And that's literally how it goes, And then but then when we get to talking, it's like we don't have enough time because we're like, okay, well, I'll hit you up and elaborate on that later because so much is going on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Okay, now you still didn't tell me the gun story, though.
Well, to add to before we get to the gun story, one of the reasons the radio doesn't come on as well because Ross sings a lot. And he's
holding out.
He's an avid note holder, and so yeah, every now and then he'll bust a tune, but
well, I tell you what, for the record, I cannot sing.
So you think you could sing?
Everybody out there hear me now, I cannot sing. But I do have a few artists that I like to listen to, and one of the particular ones that has come up in a few videos that I hope don't make it to this show without, knowing you. But I'm a big Teddy Pendergrass fan.
That's a good one.
Yeah, big Teddy Pendergrass fan. And for several reasons, I just like the way he used to swoon the women with his lyrics. And we'll just leave it at that. But he has a few of them that are just
TKO.
Yes. And Come On, Go With Me. That's one of my favorites there. So that particular song one time, we all went on, it was a group of us. How many went on that trip? Four of us. We went on a fellas trip. We went to the cabins in Oklahoma, Broken Bow, Oklahoma. And that weekend was a NFC Championship weekend. We know the Cowboys were playing, was that Green Bay?
Yeah.
Cowboys playing Green Bay or somebody. I think that was Green Bay. But anyway, it was a big weekend. We went down there. Everybody, he got down there, he cooked for everybody because, he cooked at the fire station and everything. So we hanging out, dominoes, food, good rest, R&R, just watching the game. So, we had a good fellas weekend. Well, anyway, this particular evening, we all sitting around laughing and talking, and the radio was on. So, when he got the Bluetooth going. And then this particular time, I said, man, put some of this on. So I got Teddy Pendergrass going. And I was like, man, y'all got to listen to these lyrics, man. Just pay attention. I said, man, Teddy knew how to go get them, boys. They like, what? I said, man, listen. So I'm reciting it word for word, and I kind of got into it. Before I knew it, about a couple weeks later, this guy sent me a video of me.
Sing it.
I had no clue he's recording. And I'm sitting there like, oh, that's cold blood.
You was grooving and didn't even know you were being recorded.
I was into it. I didn't have any clue. But we laugh about that. I mean, he pulls that out at least once a year now. He just pulls it out like, oh, I'll still laugh at it.
I love it.
Yeah, and that's what friends do. You can take some funny stuff and hold it and let them see it. A week or two, a year later, I invited him and another one of our buddies over to the house to watch the game. And, of course, I'm at home. I'm in my element. I'm in my favorite chair. And I fell asleep. That's one of the things that you don't want to do around your friend or friend.
Snoring.
Oh, boy.
I mean, if they just catch me snoring, that's fine. No, but they want to, throw fraternity signs up and
you're just knocked out.
I'm knocked out, yeah, so I think it's like an episode on American Pie or something, but it's cool though, because you can do it and it's all in the, all in the group and, nobody's trying to do anything maliciously or, malintention against, all in good fun, and those are our videos that's in the vault and, that we share and laugh and cry to, and that's just the way, a great friend, a trait should be. You should be able to have all those range of emotions and nobody's trying to do anything that's going to be harmful to that person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Y'all still skirted around my original question.
Okay, all right. Here we
go. Go ahead, just give it to me.
The gun.
The
Because I feel like that's very Texas for people to just be walking around with their guns.
Well, first of all, my brother got me into guns. Up until about maybe 6-8 years ago, I wouldn't have a gun anywhere around me. But he got me into it, with these changing times of today's world, and so he convinced me. So I've got one, maybe a couple, and so this particular one I carry with me all the time. And we're in New Orleans, we're hanging out, and it's, so I got it on me. It's like putting your keys in your pocket. I just put it on my hip, it becomes second nature. It's just put it on, let's go. So this particular time, we're going to one of the games of the Final Four. And we walk from the Airbnb. We don't drive. Mm-hmm. And as we're walking, we're in the crowds. I mean, we've got thousands of people around. I mean, everybody's walking down Portrait Street and, just in droves. So, if you don't keep walking quickly, you're going to get run over. You have to pull off to the side of them. Some of the ways we're going up and the crowd takes you this way and then you follow this way. And as we get to the front and we walk it up, he's like, okay, you got the tickets, got this, you got that. Okay, let me see. You got everything you need because, when you go in, you can't come back out.
Right. So
as we're getting there, and mind you, we've got thousands of people behind me and everybody's trying to get in the game because everybody wants to partake. So as we're walking up, I get to the turnstile right there and I see, the security and everything. And I would say, oh, shoot. He said, what? Hold on, man. So I had to stand off to the side. He's like, what's wrong? I said, bro, I got my gun. He's like, what?
You couldn't go back.
I can't go back to Airbnb. By the time I get to the Airbnb, back is halftime.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, God, I'm not about to put it in the bushes.
Right.
This joke cost too much. And I'm like, God, what am I going to do? He like, man. So now he looking at me. You got to see him when he get his concerned face. He got to. So what we going to do, man? man, what we gonna do? I'm like, bro, nothing to do but just tell these people and see what they say. I just got to go declare it and say what's going on. So he's like, you gonna go up there for real? I said, yeah, I'm just gonna go tell them,
You gonna tell them that I'm a black man with a gun?
No, I'm not trying to go to jail in New Orleans. I would not be going to jail in New Orleans.
At a major sporting event.
A major sporting event. So I just said, I found one of the people at one of the turnstiles that looked like they were part of security. And I just said, excuse me, ma'am, I got a situation I need to explain to somebody. And he was like, what? I said, ma'am, I've walked up here. I've got a firearm. I forgot I had it, but I didn't want to come through here and set off anything and make it look like I'm trying to enter the facility with it.
Yeah.
So there was a tense moment for about maybe a second or two, because we're both like, we don't know what kind of reception we're going to get.
Yeah.
Then the lady said, oh, yeah, okay, come on. So she walked us through the turnstile. I beeped. And when I beeped, she called her supervisor over. And she said, oh, he has a gun. He needs to check and so on, so on, so like it had happened before, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he said, follow him. So we walk in, turn a corner, go get on the elevator. We go all the way in the basement. So we go in the basement. Then we get on the basement. Before we know we get out the elevator, we on the floor. We look through a curtain. That's the gym floor. We like, we ain't got these seats. Oh, all right, we got these seats. So they take us around the corner, and as we're walking, we pull up, and there's a sign on the side of the wall. It was a police department sign. So I guess the police department has their own office. So we go in, and then they have these little small lockers. I guess for other officers or people who carry weapons or whatever, where they lock them up. Mm-hmm. So they say, you just pick your locker, put your weapon in there, and you take the key. So when you come back, you have the key to retrieve your weapon. And they said, well, I said, is that it? They said, oh, yeah. Have a great time, guys. So we walked up so then we walk out. Then we reassess where we are. We're like, man, we're on the floor. Mm-hmm. So we looking around and we seeing the players. I mean, they like right through there. Like, man, hold on. Do we really want to go back to our seats? So we like, let's just go sit down over there. So yeah, that was one of those times where we just didn't know how it was going to go, but it ended up turning out way better than we could have ever imagined.
So the moral to the story is...
Bring your gun?
Bring your gun and you get treated better. Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Man.
And so where you used to be a chaplain.
Yeah.
Or still a chaplain for the fire department. And I understand that kind of use the Lord's name to get a good parking spot.
Yeah, we kind of leaned on the Lord.
Leaned on the Lord?
Yeah, so, once again, we're at the Final Four at a different city. And, most of the time when we go to these different places, no matter if Rod drives or even his vehicle or my vehicle, he likes he's like our, and I'm not saying chauffeur, and I don't want to use that, but he's our navigator. Mm-hmm. He's the captain. He's the captain. I'm the captain now.
I'm the captain.
That's him. Yeah. And
just ride.
I got this. So we get to the national championship game, and we'd already went to the games on that Saturday, mm-hmm. and the parking. I don't know if we actually had parking pass. We did not have parking pass that time.
No, we paid the first time.
Yeah, so parking pass is, the park ridiculous, mm-hmm. And so we already knew championship game, it's going to be ridiculous. So we get there, and always at a good time, so we can get a good parking spot. So where we was going to park at, which we already knew was going to be ridiculous, into this one lot, it was already full. So we go to another lot, it's full. Like, God, it's going to be a great game. So, we can't really find a spot. So we kind of weaving, trying to go around, trying to see what we can get to. And we just happened to look down this one driveway, and it seemed like it was just a private parkway. And so he's like, I'm going to shoot down here or whatever. I'm looking, once again, that concerned look. He say that I can only look, it's just a look. It's kind of like, man, what we doing?
Like, what are you doing?
And he's always like, once again, that was like, just ride, got this, And he's always been like that. I've been the one that's been a little bit more
by the book.
Yeah, by the book, precarious, just kind of move at a different. Rod is like, man, I got this type of deal until we're in handcuffs, But so we're on this road, so we turn, and now we're at the back of the stadium where all the important vehicles are coming to. We're seeing some
Fire trucks.
major black car limos and
Well, your vehicle was important because it was the Lord's vehicle.
You were saying
yeah.
well, what car were we?
We were in we were in
Your car?
it was in my car.
Okay,
in my car.
okay, we're in your car. So we ride.
Yeah, we ride. And so we get there and we get to this security station where this lady looks real tough, and of course they got the hands that come down, they, secure, I mean, this is a security. You see, as a matter of fact, we looked over to the left and we see the buses from where the players, teams buses and everything. It was in that section, whatever. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna stop right there and, like always, I'm gonna tag team Rod and let him tell the rest of it. Cause I'm over here in the passenger side. I'm nervous.
So
I'm nervous.
We're in this line, and you see deliveries going on. Box trucks, they're doing stuff. Everybody's going in because they're putting on this big event. So he was like, man, he kept asking me, man, you sure we supposed to go through? I said, man, just ride. So as we get closer to everything, and I said, man, you got your badge? He's like, huh? I said, pull out your badge. He's like, for what? I said, man, pull out your badge. He's like, what you mean? He grabs a wallet. He starts, we both carry the same kind of little wallet like this. So he's like, what do you want? I said, man, just give me your badge. Give me your deal. So he pulls out his card. They had chaplain on it. So he said, I got this. I said, that'll do just fine. So he's like, what? I said, man, just right. So he's like, man, what you finna do? He said, man, we finna go to jail. I said, we ain't going to jail. I said,
just like in New Orleans. Here we go.
I said, man, worst case scenario, they can't do it to make us turn around. He said, what? He said, what are you going to do? So anyway, by this time, the gates go up, the other car in front of us goes, and now it's our time in the deal. So I said, how you doing, sir? Rod Lewis. I'm the driver for the Dallas Fire Department chaplain. He was like, huh? He said, yeah, I got the chaplain for the Dallas Fire Department here. I'm his driver. I'm just looking for a place to park. So he said, hold 1 second. So he like, man, we finna go to get in jail, finna get trouble. So all of a sudden the guy says, Radio 309, well, we are the Dallas Fire Department chaplain here looking for a place to park. What do I do? So the guy says, 1 second, have him pull it to the side. So we like, pull it to the side. So then he said, see, there you go. We got to pull it to the side.
They coming.
Yeah, they coming. They finna get us, bro. You should never use my badge. Should never done that, man. Dog, man. I ain't need that on me, man. I just retired, man. I don't need this on my back. And I said, man, chill out, man. He's like, man, all right, man. So he gets quiet. About 2 seconds later, come back. Yeah, just tell them to go right there up to the left, make a left, right there by the handicap area. Tell them to park right in there and tell them to have a great time, gentlemen. And I told him, I said, see?
Won't he do it?
See? So the guy comes and tells us what we just heard him say on the radio. So we pull up, turn and pull the handicap, and then we get the handicap area. We are less than 200 steps from the stadium. Now, 2 days before, we parked, it seemed like it was 1.5 miles. I mean, we had to walk forever.
So you should have used the badge earlier.
Should have used it 2 days earlier, but no.
And the significance of the badge is that, when I work for the fire department and, they give you your badge or, the city and that's just your identification. And that badge has gotten us in so many situations and out of so many situations as well, because it's just like, but it's a chance that you take, because you in a tight area, but the way you look and Rod has always been confident, always look like the Incredible Hulk superhero, type. So you kind of like, hey, just act like you
been there before,
and that's one thing I'll never forget that he has always said, just act like you've been there before, and that's what we do, even though it's kind of scary at times.
Don't be scared.
But he makes it happen now. That was and once again, that's a memory that we can carry with us, throughout. And what's good too is when we come back and people always say, how was y'all trip? And we can just start sharing these memories and so people are now just kind of vicariously trying to live through, our trips.
Yeah.
And people like, man, I kind of want to go. Well, hey, oh,
So it's just you two.
Hold up now, hold up.
Yeah.
Just
Because see, first of all, here's the thing. For all y'all that want to go, if you're serious, come on.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not altering our plans for
That's
you
right.
because you have something to do. We're going to do this. Our spouses know we're going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And we go, and this is our R&R time where we have no agenda. We have no preset schedule or whatever. The only thing that's the schedule we have other than that is the game. And everything else is around the game. Now, other than that, we're going to find a place. We're going to find some great food spots, like we're going to do when we leave here. We're going to find some great food spots, and we get it in pretty good. Yeah, we're going to eat real good. We're not eating anything fast or anything that we've got here in Dallas. That's our understanding. We eat stuff that's local. A lot of times I look it up off of Food Network, or just want to see what's, diner, drive-in, dives, what's the deal, the Guy Fieri or whatever. Yeah, I'm going to look him up and see what he may have recommended in a particular area. And then because, it's almost pretty much you can't miss when, you go to one of those, it's going to be something good.
It's going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
and give reviews where we go and taking pictures and, laughing and like, wow, we can't wait to get that again. And, so it's just, man, it's, to have that in friendship, it's just, we look forward to that. We already, for next year, it's going to be in Indianapolis, and, we have family in Indianapolis. So, of course, I want to show him some different places and let him meet some people that's been looking out for me. And my mother and father-in-law live there, and I mean everybody in the Walker family treats me like I'm important. Like he was saying, like I got a little like as if I was in the barbershop.
Yeah,
when I was 16. Look at it, and it's just those memories. Just look forward to that, and.
So what would you all say? What have you all learned from each other over the years?
I'm gonna say that what I've learned from Rod is patience for one side of that. He's always been a gentle giant. And he's a very great listener, and then, he's a smart guy, a very smart man, and but I mean, and he's very business savvy as well. And he's, I call myself being very resourceful, but I don't really think that there's too many more people more resourceful than Rod. Matter of fact, I had to ask him when we finish the show. I need to find something. I know that he's going. Yeah, he said, "Oh yeah, I got." He's like that. I got a guy for that. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, there's there's an app for that. I got that. And that's him. So I'm gonna say patience and very resourceful. Yeah.
What about you, Rod?
Shu has a unique way of looking at life. Period. Maybe through a different lens, or just maybe just from a perspective that most people wouldn't even begin to, look that way. For example, he was in the Dallas Fire Department for 20, how many years?
27
whole years. We all know he went in to become a chaplain and everything, but now after, all of that, he saw a bigger need than just his chaplain role, but it piggybacked from his chaplain role and from his years of it. He saw a need to help first responders with mental health. He saw that. Most people don't step back from themselves and won't say, there's a bigger need greater than myself. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are just, when you get to retirement, you start thinking about, I'm finna just chill. I'm going to do me. I'm going, I'm going here. I'm going there. Me and my wife, we about to go hang out. We about to do everything. It's all about me when you retire, because that's how society programs us. That wasn't his focus from day one. From the time he was done, his whole thought was, man, I got to find a way to do this. And it was just in his brain. It was his thought, and not just, it just didn't go from, man, I want to go just talk for a couple people, which he could have done, just gone back to a couple stations and, talk to a couple cats that he knew were having troubled times, whatever. No, he put together a full program that, helps first responders with their mental health. And that was inspiring to me because, you just don't see a lot of people that take the time out of their own individual lives especially at a time of life when you're supposed to be focusing about you, to give back to your own space, because you've given so much of your own space. A lot of people don't do that. So, just to be able to look at things and be willing to extend a helping hand outside of what society deems as norm. I admire that about him a lot. Admire that about him a lot, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So add to that, thank you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people probably like, okay, wait a minute, they're talking barbershop and fire department. What we doing? So of course, when I got the barber's license, I built up all those relationships and great people. And when I graduated college, wanted to do like what quote unquote the neighborhood kids. I always want to do. Everybody wants to go to the league playing professional ball. So I got an agent, and I got an agent from somebody that used to come into the barbershop. So that was a connection. And so that person represented me while I was waiting for my opportunity to possibly get a call to go overseas or play in what was back then the CBA, or eventually get to the league. I'm in the gym and I meet some guys who are always in the gym. They look good. They had money in their pocket. They had nice vehicles, but it's like they never was at work. And so finally one day I asked them, like, what do you guys do? They said, we're firefighters. And they said, we work one day, which is 24 hours, and we're off 2 days. So I'm sitting there thinking like, 2 days off, I could be still relationship wise with the barbershop and do the fireman side. I can, like, in a sense, double dip. And so they said, come visit us at the fire station. I went, and from day one, I was hooked. I was bit by the excitement bug. I saw where those guys that I play ball with, athletic guys that look like myself, but a little bit older, were saving the Dallas Oak Cliff community. And that's what I saw the barbershop being always. And I said, man, this is it. This is where the badge where I can get the badge, And so just to add to what Rod said, even though the badge is in a sense retired, you have to step out of yourself and look at what other people need. Because we've gone and experienced a lot of these different places, we're able now to, if somebody went to Houston and they were thinking about going a certain, hey, that's not a good place to go. I wouldn't go there if I was you. And because we've gone there, our eyes and our experience and our lives see that, and that's what the organization and the barbershop, does for so many different people. It's a melting pot of so many different styles and people. And you just sit there and just learn and soak it up. You can get and take in so much to help somebody else, but most importantly, help yourself. So
I want to go back to the barbershop, because the barbershop has really been like the nucleus of you all's relationship. And Ray, talk to me about your mom and how essentially she had this famous barbershop.
Yeah, man. I always got to pause and just like where Rod just said, because she was just like both our moms, both our parents, phenomenal people. And George Spencer, my mom, was a phenomenal lady. For one, she had a vision to even go to barber school, and even before that, to even raise money to get the money to pay for barber school at an early age, to be able to see her vision through of being a business entrepreneur.
And then you didn't even have like female barbers back then.
No,
that during that time, that's unheard. It's almost still a little unheard of now, but
yeah, it's definitely back then it was something that was very few and far between. But you know, she had a dream, you know, and she saw that through. She saw it through, and she ended up coming to Dallas. She grew up in East Texas and got under the guidance of a guy by the name of Johnny Graham. She met my father, Ray Shuford. He was a barber as well. And she's under their Graham umbrella, where so many different barber stylists in Dallas. If you go and search all over Dallas, you know, in these different communities, different places, chances are all of these people are extension of the Graham's Foundation. He had a barber school, he had a credit union, he had 9 barbershops, so he had people, full places, 10 chairs in these places, you know, and so my family was able to participate in that, and was stemmed on to us going to Graham's Barber College. But my mom, you know, one thing that Mr. Graham always shared with them, just don't stop here. Be an entrepreneur, be a business owner. I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to show you how to talk to people to even get your loan if you need one and save your money. You know, he had a credit union. And so to see her do all that and things that she, the things she gave me and my family, and then even other individuals like Rod, and even because if I wasn't in the shop and he came through, she cut his hair on many occasions. And, you know, he was just like a son to him, and that was like another mother, because he knew if he needed anything, whether I'm there or not or whatever, he could, like so many different people. So man, she was a phenomenal person, you know. And so,
and you're working on a documentary about her.
Yeah, I'm, you know, really excited about the documentary. For the sake of non-disclosures and everything, I'm not going to say what the name is right now, you know, but I will tell you, you know, it's about the legacy of this phenomenal African-American woman in the city of Dallas, who had such a reach far and wide within the city, and favor and connections that so many people came into that 1,100 square foot facility, brick and mortar facility, but so many stories, so many things were birthed from inside. So many lives were changed from the belly of Nice Look Barbershop. And so, of course, she was the alpha starting the place, and so now we're on the omega side of things, where and of course I'm an alpha and Rod is omega. And so, but the omega side of things now is that Nice Look is, even though the brick and mortar was shut down in 2015, here we are 10 years later. Here we are 25 years of my mom passing away, and we're on the cusp of birthing the docuseries that talks about so many things that happened during that time, namely Nice Look in that community. And we know we're changing the narrative, you know, and that's what our friendship hopefully does for somebody else, change the narrative of what best friends look like, you know, because kids growing up today, they have so many things that pull them from even speaking to one another, communicating, listening, you know, social schemia, insta scam, face crook, you know, stinked in, all those things that jack them up, you know. And so to have true, authentic friendship where you can change the narrative on what it looks like, that's what Luciano and Shuciano partakes in. Yeah.
So before we go, 20 years from now, you guys still going to be going to the tournament? Where do you guys see yourself, this friendship?
As long as they got a basketball and they're still playing, we're going to be there.
We're going to be like my guys on Coming to America, you know. What is that, velvet?
Hey, you do a solid impersonation, okay?
His mama called him Clay.
Mama call it Clay. I'm
I'm gonna call him Clay. Yeah, so we might not have no hair, might be full of gray or bald headed, but
We'll have handicap seats then.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
You have the handicap sticker.
Hey,
yeah.
maybe even had a little place where we roll the chair up. Roll the
Yeah.
chair, lock me in.
So this friendship of 40 years, it's well documented. I'm going to throw some pictures on the screen.
No,
This is definitely giving 80s.
come on, Big Daddy, Big. So that's when I thought I was Big Daddy Kane.
Jutta.
Yeah, and so
You couldn't tell them two things about that Jutta.
Yeah, at the Gazelle.
That was your ride?
My ride. And that's where me and Rob was talking as well. We came from family who both were working, and so I was able to save up some money and purchase me a vehicle after my other vehicle.
This is high school?
High school, yeah. That was
You were feeling yourself.
Oh yeah. I was. You couldn't say nothing to me. I'm gazelles and snakeskin belt, Jabot pants.
Oh, Jabot. Okay.
Cohan shoes. I mean, if you saw the real big picture of this, it was a teacher that was teaching at the school. They had a Jetta, but their Jetta wasn't as clean as mine, and you can see that person hating on me.
You made the teacher look
hating on me. Teacher was hating on me.
She was hating on you?
Shout out to the teacher hating on me.
Okay, and then we're going to go to our next picture.
Oh my goodness. Oh my.
Now, I know nothing about football, but you have the ball and you're running, so I'm going to say this is a good thing.
Yeah, that was actually my last collegiate game.
It's Miami.
That's against Miami in the Fiesta Bowl, 1994, where we beat them 29-0. And there were some famous people on that field. I won't go name their names because I don't want to smoke. But we won that day. But that was the big fella right there.
Awesome.
They actually had 3 or 4 abs too.
And then this beautiful picture of your family.
Yes.
Oh man, so that was a couple of years ago. My beautiful wife Yolanda, my youngest daughter Jade, who is going to be a nurse real soon. Shout out to her nursing program and good tuition. And my big homie, my best big bro, Roderick Luciano Lewis. And my school, Kimball High School, recognized me. I retired my jersey after 35 years
Awesome.
of being, graduating from the great Kimball, Justin Ford Kimball High School, Dallas, Texas, Oak Cliff, 9 state championships. But that was a great night, and I was so fortunate to have my family standing with me, and just like I always, Rod never misses a big moment, and the same with him. Yeah.
Any closing words?
Man, we could go on and on. Y'all just don't have enough time for us. But thank you.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing your story. I hope other Black men will look at this and see that the need for friendship is very important. And so thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
You fam.
We'll see you guys next time.